So, today we'll be getting into the news of Sasha Banks picking up some new acting roles, Edge's new storyline direction, and more. Let's kick things off with this Sasha Banks news. On top of being one of WWE's biggest superstars, Sasha Banks has started to become a massive star outside of the WWE as well. The platform that has skyrocketed Sasha Banks to this new level of popularity was, of course, her role in Season 2 of Disney's hit series, The Mandalorian. Sasha Banks played a key role in this season and not only impressed her fans, she also impressed viewers of the show that previously didn't know much about her. It helped her to introduce Sasha Banks to an even bigger audience. The Mandalorian is one of the biggest shows on Disney+, so anyone that appears on that series is going to have a lot of eyes on them. Sasha loved her role in that show and the character she played. The director and executives of the show loved her performance as well, so you never know if she may pop up again. The official Star Wars account, with just about 6 million followers, even tweeted a special happy birthday message at Sasha Banks. So the Star Wars franchise is now a big fan and supporter of hers. But it appears that Sasha is keeping the acting roles going. During a recent interview, Sasha Banks was asked about taking on any new acting roles, and Sasha revealed that she has some good things coming up. So it just goes to show you how amazing her performance really was on The Mandalorian. It appears that she jumped off the screen to a lot of directors, and she even has more individuals contacting her about new acting opportunities. Stephanie McMahon seems to be in full support of Sasha Banks taking on these acting roles. Stephanie McMahon recently spoke with The Wrap and discussed how she feels like the experience on The Mandalorian boosted Sasha's confidence even more. Stephanie had this to say: "Sasha's star only continues to rise. I think that experience for her gave her a different set of confidence that maybe she didn't have before. Sasha is one of our biggest stars with some of the best charisma and potential. And on top of her athleticism and her storytelling abilities, she just shines. When she walks out, you pay attention. I love her attitude and just everything about her. So I think Sasha is really just getting started." Stephanie is right. Sasha Banks is still just getting started. Sasha Banks just turned 29, and it's unreal when you look back at everything she's already accomplished. A one-time NXT Women's Champion, a one-time SmackDown Women's Champion, 5-time Raw Women's Champion, 2-time Women's Tag Team Champion, WWE Grand Slam Champion, Sports Illustrated's #1 ranked wrestler, and the list goes on and on. Now you have all these acting opportunities that are coming her way as well. Imagine what her accomplishments look like in another 5 years or so. Sasha Banks also appeared on the Normal Not Normal podcast and had a few interesting stories to share, such as the story about her mother not supporting the idea of her wrestling when she first started. Sasha had this to say about that story: "I told my mom right away. I was like, I think I want to do this. And she was being so dramatic. Like, my mom always says, 'What did I do? Why? Why would you do this? This is insane. Why would you do something like this? This is not what girls do.' And I was like, I don't care what you tell me. I'm going to do it." Obviously, Sasha Banks sticking with what her heart wanted turned out to be the right move. Then, in another interview with the Complex Sports podcast, Sasha Banks reacted to Snoop Dogg's AEW appearance, wanting him to be her WrestleMania partner. She had this to say: "I saw him 2 weeks before he did that, and he was talking about how he wanted to do a splash." Banks said, "I wasn't thinking that splash was going to look like that. He called me right after, just cracked up laughing, asking if I was proud. I was like, dude, if you had fun, that's all that matters. We still got time. I want to do matches with him. I want him as my tag team partner for WrestleMania. So we got time. I got time to train him. The splash is going to be 5 stars." Sasha Banks also noted how her favorite Snoop Dogg song was her own WWE theme song that had his vocals in it. So that about covers all the highlights from Sasha's new interviews this week. It'll be interesting to see what those new acting roles are, so keep an eye out for that news. Edge has made his return to WWE. We previously discussed the weird move by WWE to spoil his Royal Rumble return. but we'll be taking a look at his possible new storyline and direction. When Edge returned at last year's Royal Rumble event, his main program and storyline all revolved around Randy Orton. Their feud started at Royal Rumble and went all the way into the middle of the year. Fans were starting to get a little burnt out of the Randy Orton and Edge matches and wanted to see what was next for Edge after Randy Orton. But that's unfortunately when tragedy struck, and Edge went out with a serious arm injury that kept him on the sidelines for nearly a year. So we never got to see Edge really interact with anyone else other than Randy Orton during his last return. Hopefully we get to see Edge interact with some different faces this time around. Edge did post a message on Twitter that did a phenomenal job of explaining his backstory and reasoning for entering the Royal Rumble match again. Edge had this to say: "1 year ago, feels like a decade, doesn't it? Last year's story was once in a lifetime. No sense trying to recreate that. Impossible. I don't have you there. This year, my journey is different. I'm not just happy to be back. I want back what I never lost, and it starts this Sunday." So what we really need to pay attention to is that last line right there from Edge: "I want back what I never lost." This is obviously a reference to his 2011 retirement, where he had to relinquish the World Heavyweight title. Remember that at the time of his retirement, Edge was actually the reigning defending champion. He had to give up that title due to injury. He was never defeated for the title. So, Edge does have the right to use that classic storyline of "no one ever defeated me" for the title. So it's a great motive and direction for his character, especially with it being 10 years later, a whole decade later, and he still hasn't got that title back. That fact alone creates a lot of hunger for the character and really makes him out to be a big Royal Rumble threat to win the entire match. Edge's Royal Rumble promo on Raw also basically confirmed that he's been signed to the Raw brand. Edge went undrafted in the WWE draft only because he was injured, but it seems like WWE basically confirmed that he belongs to the Red brand once again. As far as Edge's future direction, there were a lot of rumors and buzz late last year that WWE wasn't fully done with Randy Orton vs. Edge. There was a lot of talks about Randy Orton vs. Edge for the WWE title being one of the potential main events for WrestleMania 37. Fans were a little mixed on those rumors, but you have to remember the company you're dealing with here. No one changes their mind more than WWE. So it's possible that this match was brought up in discussion for WrestleMania 37 last year, but they have probably pitched hundreds of other WrestleMania matches by now and forgot all about that one. But could it make sense and work? Well, sort of. Randy Orton is basically possessed in some way by the Fiend right now. What's the Fiend's main objective? It's usually revenge and payback. So maybe Randy Orton shares that same revenge drive as the Fiend does. Maybe this new possessed version of Randy Orton is upset that Edge is back and becomes obsessed with trying to take Edge fully out once again. Something like that could work. But then again, the community seems split on the Randy Orton vs. Edge situation. Some fans feel like we've seen that match too many times already, while others feel like they can use another match together. So, we'll have to see what WWE decides to do with Edge's direction. Does he reignite his feud with Randy Orton, or does Edge enter the WWE title picture on Raw? What are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys.